There are a lot of frequently asked questions when it comes to psychedelics, so let's field a few. Does salvia contain DMT? No, two different psychoactive substances. Can I fail a drug test if I used salvia? Does salvia show up in my urine test? No, they are not looking for it. Can't ecstasy be included among the psychoactive substances worth taking? Isn't ecstasy benevolent to us, and its harms really subjective? There is a psychological danger that users of ecstasy can like it too much and crave the emotional contentment that it provides. MDMA is neurotoxic to the serotonin terminals. Repeated users have increased rates of depression, anxiety, impaired long-term memory, and cognitive function. And this is not subjective. There is evidence supporting this. One common question that comes up often is how much is too much? The key to anything in life is moderation. Too much of anything in life will either make you sick or kill you. And the fact that the more something is done, the less it is appreciated. Take marijuana, for example. Should one smoke heavily in a week until the potency starts to fade and then take a break? Or rather just simply smoke some marijuana occasionally? Another common question. What is the most powerful psychoactive? DMT has to rank up there as one of the most powerful. The reason is because after you smoke them, you are almost instantly off on the trip. There is no waiting period. With peyote and mushrooms, you start to trip 30 to 45 minutes after you ingest them, and the trip slowly eases up on you. But DMT is pretty much like dreaming while you are still awake. People will often say that the Salvia trip or the DMT trip is more intense and real than dreams. But what makes them so intense and realistic is that you enter them instantly and are aware. Dreaming is not less intense or realistic, it's just that when we dream, we slowly relax into it and have a buffer where we slip out of our waking consciousness. Common question. Do psychedelics help cure diseases? Yes, and a lot of recent studies have supported this. However, Western medicine will never employ this. One reason is because it's not guaranteed to work every time on every person. And another reason is because Western medicine is not interested in curing people. Finding cures is not in its interest. People stand to lose too much money. Treating symptoms has proven to be too lucrative to give up. But the truth is, psychedelics do in fact cure disease. Everything from heart disease to cancer to diabetes to high blood pressure. And especially so with addictions. Alcoholics, cocaine addicts, meth heads can all cure themselves of their addictions through the repeated use of psychoactive substances. And recent studies have shown that this is especially true with the use of ibogaine. Common question. Do psychedelics mellow you out? In the long run, they probably do. But while experiencing them, there's no guarantee that it's going to be a mellow experience. Psychedelics will not really relax you and wind you down like marijuana does. Not to say that you will not have a relaxing experience. It's just not commonly reliable to have an assurance that you're going to have a relaxing experience every time. Which of course poses the biggest and most frequently asked question. What can we expect when we take psychoactive substances? The many different varieties of experiences that you may have is something that cannot be predicted. Out-of-body experiences are common, as is an endless amount of other experiences, alternate realities, time travel, oneness with everything. The possibilities are limitless. Psychoactives all tap you into the unknown, and where you travel and what you experience is not something that can be predetermined. So there really is no way to premeditate or plan out your trip beforehand. But it never hurts to try things that you think might guide the trip. What you say or think right before the trip might steer your trip, but then again it may not. Lots of things could affect your trip. Your surroundings, what you are looking at, what you are hearing, what you smell, your mood, your thoughts and intentions all might have an influence. But ultimately, nothing can be guaranteed. How often should one take psychoactive substances? Is it okay to do it very, very frequently? Because these trips are often very intense, both on the mind and the body, it is therefore beneficial to wait some time before having the experience again. Creativity, insight, and energy boosts often follow in the days after. It gives your body and brain time to digest the experience, also as to not enable diluted experiences in the future. So what about Salvia? What is it all about? How do I experience it? It is the only legal psychedelic that one can purchase within the law. Well, at least in 35 states. In Delaware, Florida, Hawaii, Illinois, Kansas, Kentucky, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Nebraska, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, South Dakota, and Virginia, it is now illegal. So it is the mostly legal psychedelic available right now. All else has been banned, and it won't be long before they ban Salvia also. So get it while you can. You can order it online or get some through your local smoke shop. Chewing it only has a very mild effect. Smoking is the only true way to get the full experience. Starting with the lowest potency and slowly working up is probably the best way to go. 10x is a good place to start. Upgrade to the next potency if you start to get used to 10x. Then move to 15x and so on. The actual trip experience will last generally between 10 and 15 minutes. So how to smoke it? For the best effect, use a bong or a pipe and a lighter that produces a high amount of heat. Start by packing a small bowl. Use an amount equal to your thumbnail. Pull it in slow and fill your lungs. Try holding in the hit for a long period. If you cough, then pull the smoke in slower. Try several hits if you do not take off after one hit. Hold for as long as possible and then exhale. Put the pipe down and lay back on the bed as you exhale. Have a lot of fresh air blowing in the window. You will know when you get that great hit, when you are no longer aware of what's going on. Try to have someone you trust to watch over you if it's your first time. Someone who will not mess with you. Ask them to simply observe and to make sure you are safe. Other than that, ask them not to interfere in any way. They don't have to be spiritual or to understand your reasons to complete this task. Do it in a peaceful setting, soft light, relaxing music, incense and such. Try it in nature. Leave yourself an entire day and have the next day free also. Do it on an empty stomach. Try it at a time when you are feeling relaxed and mellow. And let go. Flow with it. Explore, question, and observe. Be bold and full of abandon. Drop all expectations and hold on to nothing. Be prepared to let go of the world and your idea of a self. Bad trips stem from people trying to hold on too tight and being afraid of the unknown, which is understandable because it's commonly natural to fear the unknown and to let go of the control. Your potential experiences are as unlimited as space and will all be of dreamlike quality. Every trip can be different, and the intensity and variety can vary from trip to trip depending on the potency. The experiences vary from person to person. You can feel separate or connected to the surroundings. There is time, space, dislocation. Whirling colors swirl around you. You may have spiritual visions or enhanced thoughts. Dream-like states. This is all in line in what they are assisting you in discovering, that the reality that you perceive and take for granted is an illusion. The external world and your identity are not as real as you would suppose. You begin to see the illusionary nature of the world. The contrived quality becomes apparent. That reality is a carefully constructed, self-imposed creation. A lot of deep realizations you make when you are in this heightened awareness are often forgotten. The clarity is fleeting when returning to ordinary consciousness, like waking up from a dream. Are dreams real? They certainly seem like it when you are in the dream moment with no other frame of reference. This is what the psychoactive experience is for. To help those who have a hard time letting go of the illusion, let go, so that they may be better prepared for emptiness, meditation, and a spiritual life. When one holds on too hard to the self-created illusion of duality, it is nearly impossible to even think about lessening one's grip, much less liberating oneself. This is how the psychoactive plant serves as a vehicle to push the prospective initiate out of the bonds of self-reflection. There will always be a bad trip here and there, just as you occasionally have a bad dream or nightmare. But this is acceptable as long as they are rare. If you are secure in yourself and have good positive energy, then these things pass quickly. Don't dwell on it too much or let it bug you. You need some time. After a few weeks have passed, you will be renewed and the unpleasant trip feeling will leave you. Then you can experiment again. But in the future, stick to what works. Keep your senses occupied so they may not wander into fear. Be like an infant again and watch the world in wonder. Find the humor in the illusion. Find the beauty in love. Then there will be no room for darkness or negativity. When you find yourself in a position where your perspective has expanded and you have less of a hard time letting go and more ease accepting the transiency and impermanence of life, then you will no longer need the help of these organic psychoactive tools. Which brings us to the last point, which also serves as a warning. Take psychoactive substances seriously. This is not a joke. If you want to party and bug out and have a good time, then do not take psychoactive substances. This is what alcohol and ecstasy and sensational drugs are for. Psychoactive substances are for teaching and learning, and foolishness has no place within teaching and learning. Psychoactive substances are for explorers, and explorers have no time for foolishness.